Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Underrated, mate.
Young, black, and gifted. We do it for the culture.
Underrated, mate.
It's the same old song. I knew some niggas I thought was thorough, they sung alone. I ain't from New York,
Boy.
but some was wrong. So when it come to us, you can't come alone. And I never say your name in 100 songs. You could do 100 breaks, won't equal to that one wrong.
Ready, Quan?
Equal to that one wrong.
You know what I mean?
Promise I will never ever cave, nigga.
Minus setback for the major comeback, you feel me?
Bars. Bars.
You know what I mean?
Ain't no looking back, ain't nobody left to save, nigga.
Let's go.
Promise I will never ever cave, nigga. Get this shit my all, never question what I gave, nigga. And you can take that to the grave with you.
Ain't no looking back.
Ain't nobody left to save, nigga.
What's this, man? What's this, Quan?
You already know. You already know. You already...
Yeah. Let's go,
I
man.
ain't gonna
Gotta
lie.
let that joint vibe out, you feel me?
I hated that phrase. You already know. But it's not snowing outside.
You ready?
I've been ready.
All right, Quan, man. Let's go, man. This is, what's this, Quan?
I'm black and gifted. Podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally. I said it again. Finally.
There you go.
Quan has come back to the penthouse,
There
baby.
you go. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm broke, baby.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to have you back. And we got a nice little show. I mean, this is what we do, Quan. So no matter how much time we need to ourselves, how much time we take apart, we'll always be able to come back and then flow as if nothing ever happened. You follow me? So that's one of the great things about here. So I am your host, Underrated, and I am here. I'm going to step to the side. I'm here with my co-host, 1/3, 1/4, however you want to say it, of the Young Black and Gifted Podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself, young fella.
I am Quan, a.k.a. Young __ LL,
Let's go.
a.k.a. Shaquan. The meaning of Shaquan is truth of life.
There you go.
Bars.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So today, Quan, I mean, we're gonna just do our regular thing, man. Let's talk about it, man. You said it was January the last time we was here.
About February.
February.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, so to just get a people a little backstory, just a little insight. You never really have to go too deep, but just give them an insight of where your mind is at the moment, man, because it's been a while since they heard from you.
I'm always in too deep like Neil Long bars. Kanye.
Okay.
Kanye bars.
Okay.
So within the last hiatus, you
Mhm.
call it, I've just been soul searching, trying to be a better person every day. I'm actually,
Mm-hmm.
going a little harder in the gym now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is, that at a point in time, you basically lived there, man. I remember that. So
Yeah.
you just getting around, trying to get back around to that.
I put out there like,
Were you personal training? Were you doing
nah,
personal
I
training?
don't,
Okay.
I don't have the patience.
Oh, okay.
Because people
It just seemed like you was always there. It definitely gave personal training.
It's like
vibes.
it's like my sanctuary. It's
Okay.
like that's one place I know I can go and like I'm in my own world. Don't anybody telling me do this, do that, or I just feel at home there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a judgment. I don't care about people judging me.
Right.
It's a judgment-free zone. Everybody's the same on the same level.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what, all that shit go out the door.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's more of a family than fucking the family I got.
And how has your relationship with going back and forth to the gym? How has that helped you with like your spiritual journey, your mental health? Like how has that played a part in that?
It actually makes me work on myself. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Because some days, like, a lot of people shy away from the gym because they feel like they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's almost a reflection of life. So, for instance, right, if I go to the gym and, like, I don't want to put them the big numbers. So, like, say you 205, you bench 205, right?
Mhm.
My mentality is, so today, if I do 2 reps, my mind is tomorrow do 3. You know what I'm saying? Or if I can't do 3 tomorrow, you work hard as shit till you get to that 3rd rep and just grow from there, grow from there.
Right.
Like, to be honest, one of my goals is to do 315 by my birthday.
Okay.
Which, I mean,
And that takes some building up. You don't just jump into that. You gotta train, basically train for that, right?
yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's one of my goals. I mean, I did 295 before.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 1 rep. I was gonna do 2 reps, but
In,
somebody
in what
fucked me
form?
over.
In what form? Like a
Bench.
bench?
Yeah,
Okay.
barbell
Okay.
bench. But somebody fucked me over. John fucked me over with that second rep. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of my goals. And like, you
Mhm.
know, even like doing legs. Like I used to hate doing legs, but now I've grown to like doing legs because that's like foundation besides the core. You know what I'm saying? I just love the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Word. So outside of the gym, what else is going on? How's the family doing? How's your son? I know that's
Oh,
a
it's great.
major
Actually,
part.
great. Actually,
Okay.
yesterday
Okay.
was his parent teacher conference. He got all 4s and 3s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Which
Mainly
equal out
4s.
to, for our listeners, equal out the A's and B's, basically, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he mainly got 4s. He just got to work on reading more.
Okay.
Um, you know,
And how old is he again?
6.
6. Yeah.
People
So,
think he's 9, but
yeah.
he's only 6. No, it's funny. My niece is about to be 10, and they're the same height.
Mhm.
He's actually one of her favorite students. He's like top 4 in his classroom or
Mhm.
whatever. I always joke around and say like, "Damn man, what y'all do to him at school? Cause he ain't like this when he go home."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He's a
Yeah.
wild child.
Right.
He's a wild child, but
It's something about. I think it's something about just being in such an environment, of learning. Um, we talk a lot about like the education system here,
yeah,
but I think some schools, some educational programs, they have the formula in order to be able to break through to the children. So they,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's a mixture of making it relatable, making it somewhat fun, but it's also educational and it's is built for them to learn. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So that's great though. That's great that he has the ability to go to school and have that effect.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't have too many days off, but even when I have my days off, I make it an emphasis. Yeah, we're gonna do this homework first. And
Yeah.
sometimes, like nowadays, it's like I don't need your help. I know I do it.
Yeah.
But I still sit there and make sure you do it because kids
Yeah.
they always go,
Get
oh,
sidetracked.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
just make sure you do it. But, he's a good kid.
Everything good though. Outside of school, everything good with y'all, like within your relationship and
I mean,
building with him.
we have our days.
Mhm.
He thinks I'm mean, but I'm not mean. It's just like
Yeah, he's gonna get it one day.
now I just feel like I don't give him his way, and I'm like, that's not how the world works. You know what
And
I'm
he
saying?
doesn't understand it now, but one day
Yeah.
you're preparing him for the
That's
real
why.
stuff.
That's why I keep telling him. I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, the real world, and then you're never going to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm the real world, and everybody else is
Yeah.
like they'll
I know
baby him,
exactly what you mean.
they'll baby him and stuff. And like when somebody pick on him, I don't condone violence, but I gotta tell him, listen, you gotta stand up for yourself.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be there to save you. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And to be honest, the way I grew up was, if you got a problem with somebody, your parents were like, listen, you're gonna
Yeah.
go out there and fight them.
Yeah. So I'll speak about like briefly about like with my son. So he recently got into a fight,
Mhm.
and one of the things I do, and I probably talked about it before, but he's a little older. He's 9. He just turned 9. Um, one of the things I try to do with him when he finds himself in such situations, it doesn't have to involve him getting in trouble in school, but it could be anything where I thought he could have done better, right? I'll just walk through the whole situation with him. I'll get him to tell me from his perspective, what happened, step by step. And as we encounter those places where he could have made better decisions, I'll insert that in him. He's obviously at 9 years old, he probably doesn't have the full concept of that. It might be similar to what you said. Like I might be being mean, I might be being too tough on him. But to our points as fathers, and once young men ourselves, we're preparing them for the world. It's very important. Like my message to my son is, you know, use your mind first. Don't be so quick to be so emotionally reactive to
Yeah, because that'll
situations.
put you in a very bad situation. In the real
Absolutely.
world, come on.
Absolutely. And when you talk about, I can relate to that. When you talk about everybody else babies them and all that stuff like that, it's the same thing there. So with it makes me look like the oddball because I'm not handling him the same way as everyone else,
Yeah,
right? But nonetheless, I'm attempting to train him for the real world,
yeah,
so that he has even if he doesn't fully understand it, he's been basically guided through how to be thoughtful, be reactive or proactive instead of reactive, right? So instead of getting upset with somebody because they said you were ugly or something like that, right? Try to have a greater understanding. And I know that's a lot for a 9-year-old, but it has to come from somewhere and it has to start somewhere. So my conversations with my son are just like he could fully understand.
yeah. Also, like you gotta have them comebacks, man. Listen,
Yeah.
that's what we grew up on. You say
Yeah.
something about me, listen,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
coming back for you. I'm
Yeah.
coming for your mom, and your grandma.
Yeah. And like I said, for my son, I just think he needs to, and especially being my child, he needs to be in better control of his emotions, because to your point, they can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn that now, and the consequences may not be severe at this moment, but if you go into the real world with no understanding about these things, like you said, you can find yourself in a bad position. And then there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do. It's nothing your mom can do to make it better for you, right? So, that's the understanding that I'm trying to help my son gain, just through my parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, since he has such a like, usually he'd be like, "Can you take me to the store?" And I'd be like, "You got food at the house." You know what I'm saying? I used to be one of them kids like, "Mom, you got $2?" But it's crazy because it's a different time now. Like $2 can get you a lot of stuff. Now it's like you gotta go to the store with $30 for a kid. You know what I'm saying? I took him to the store, got him whatever he wanted. It's funny because Mr. Salty came riding down the block. He's like, "Can you give me Mr. Salty?" I was like, "Bro, I just bought you a popsicle. I ain't buying that." You mean? I'm like, like most times I just be like,
you got it tough because your boy,
life.
Your boy, I'm just listening to you, and it's funny because and hat off to you because you handle him great, like just through how your experiences that you share here, you handle him great. But he ain't. He'll try you.
I know. So you will.
Which I think is inevitable, especially amongst men. I think he's going, and granted he's your son, but he's testing you. He's testing your smarts.
Like at one time he just like stopped calling like, "You're mean." And I was like, my son, I gotta be the bad guy.
Yeah, my son, I don't get that from my son. He pretty much gives that to everybody else. He kind of like straightens up when he comes to me, but it's like, yo, like, I don't want you to just do it for me. I want you to do it for yourself always. Don't.
I straighten up depending on the environment. Like if nobody there to save him,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if somebody around, like, you know what I mean? Because they gonna come save him. Like if I go whoop his ass or some shit.
Now imagine how tough that becomes for us as fathers in our mission, that we pretty much have the world working against us.
Yeah.
And majority tends to rule. Majority says, go left. And here we are saying, no, son, like, it's okay to go right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dad, why am I going? You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I always instill to him, like, yo, be your own person still, too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No matter what, because, everybody's going to do what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? You have to just be kind. You know what I'm saying?
And they'll learn. I think the best thing here, Quan, for us, for you, mainly because it started off with you, is that you're putting in the effort. Imagine those young men, such as ourselves, we talked about this before, who didn't have that effort given.
That's one of the reasons why I do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I didn't have nobody to, like, show me nothing or tell me nothing. I basically had to, like, figure it out and, like, sit back on the sideline, like, well, if they doing that dumb shit and get in trouble, why the fuck would I do that stupid shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been that type of person, which is like, I'm an observer of the world, to be honest. When I was in school, a teacher told me, "Yo, you're my favorite student." I'm thinking like, why? Because you only talk when you got to. You just sit back and observe. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. Even though I can be a wild child.
And imagine how easy you made her, how much more easier you made her job if the other 20 kids are, running amok.
Yeah.
But you are the one. So at least she can't control 20 kids, but at least you could get some type of peace and serenity when she cut her eye at you. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So all right, so shout out to your son.
Yeah.
Shout out to you again. We'll get into that too. Shout out to you for being a great father, dedicated, involved. Nah, you doing is better than what we had, and it's better than a lot of what a lot of other young men have. So it's great. You know what I mean? And even to that point, Quan, you learn it. You even learning that as you go, but you're not allowing that to stop you from putting the work in. Some people will say, "Oh, I ain't never had no that's wrong." No, that's your driving force.
Yeah, I think that's a bad excuse. I never had my dad around. I was like, so why you gonna do the same shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it don't hurt to fucking take him to the store, get some ice cream, pick him up from school. Like, just like little things. Like, even if you got no bread at all.
Yeah.
You know
The
what I'm
time.
saying? Yeah, like the time.
Yeah.
That's gonna get to a point where they don't want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But that time ain't there yet.
And I mean that whenever we had these conversations, they tend to be like rabbit holes for me because I have so many different perspectives about like co-parenting and having children by people, right? But I'll just say this before we move on. I'll just talk about how like I'll speak about how like sometimes like I forget what episode it was. I was just listening to it. It might have been on the episode if we're being honest, one of the episodes, probably part 2
Good, John.
with Jazz, right? But I talked about how sometimes I'll just say this, right? Instead of trying to connect them to, I'll just say this, that sometimes people try to abuse their position in your life and use that as a rite of passage to create further dysfunction. You know, I'm your baby mom, so I can complain about this and make this area of your life hard. But that's not true. Because now you backing me into a corner. Yes, I love my child. Yes, I love my daughter. Yes, I love my son.
I've
But
been there, trust me.
now you backing me into a corner where we just talked about this before we started. My peace. If you're gonna dangle my child in front of me and I'm not gonna be peaceful. I'm not gonna be peaceful. I know you love your child though. I'm gonna have to choose my peace. It's a tough decision, but for real, it's a no-brainer because it's not the child, it's you. You follow me? But that, you know, I've encountered that a lot. So, but nonetheless, shout out to the fathers, shout out to the mothers also. Shout out to the single parents, shout out to the parents that are making it work, whether you're together or you're not, and making it work for the sake of the child, man. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's not about what we went through in our past, what broke us up, and how you did me. It's about none of that. You know, once that child presents itself into the world, that's what it's about, and we should be trying to figure out a way to work together so that child doesn't have to suffer.
Facts. Make your baby sleep in it too.
So, all right. So, I
got one more thing too.
Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
It's definitely Ramadan.
Hey, Jazz. Jazz. We was right. We was right about you. Oh, yeah. Jazz asked me about that. But go ahead. Share your thing, and then I'll share my sentiment. Okay, Quan.
I ain't Muslim, but I'm gonna try to fast this year.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Dashek.
Yeah.
We got a challenge. The challenge is to read at least 1 or 2 books a week.
Okay.
Yeah, for the whole month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on my Jay Shetty book right now. So
okay.
I'm actually reading Dick Gregory's book too.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, he got a book. I got a few in the tuck, like saved. I listen to books actually.
I wouldn't just because of how you presented it here and the driving force behind you indulging in the book. Like I wouldn't mind like checking out like a Dick Gregory book.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, if you get the opportunity to share it with me, please do.
I got you.
Yeah.
I told you download the John Scribe. That's like just
Scribe. Which I do have on my phone. So that's
just, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying. I read Rick Ross' book. I read 50 book. I actually just finished Prodigy book. Shit took forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he left some stuff out, but you know what I'm saying? It was left some
informative.
Stuff in it. Yeah.
So through month of Ramadan, you're gonna make an attempt to fast and also read some enlightening books, correct?
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Day one. So.
Yeah. And it's wow. So finish. I want to share my sentiment with you just so I can. But anything else surrounding like any other goals you have for the month of Ramadan?
Be more conscious what you put in your body. So like back even like I connect this with like the gym, right? So like through like last few weeks, I've been getting better and better with performance, and it's because of what I've been putting in my body. Like I've been up in my my CMOS. Like, yo, that shit, bro. I need 1 a week now, like a whole jar, like, or like I usually start the day and finish the day with a shake. Take a bunch of kale, spinach, watercress, green apples, spirulina, moringa, CMOS, and then blend it all up. I mean, it don't taste as good the first few days, but after a while you get the tolerance for it. And then actually throughout the day, I drink a berry smoothie, and then before I go to sleep, I drink another green shake. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be a little more conscious.
So you're consuming how much CMOS a week? A jar a week?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty dope.
And I take my supplements. I got my NMNs. It's always a tongue twister. It's like a supplement. It helps with your youth and shit like that. Look it up. Dashak put me onto that, John. My fish oils.
You definitely seem a lot more clear-minded, if you will. Like you seem like a lot more I I don't have the right word, but I'll just say clear. Like your thoughts seem a lot more
Yeah, like,
clearer.
cause like it's like you want to put the right shit into your body, your
Mhm.
brain. You know what I'm saying? Your thought process. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting older and getting more conscious with certain shit. Like certain stuff I don't even want to do. Like even like if I'm not at the gym, I don't listen. I'm not should listen to no music.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? What's another supplement? Fish oil, elderberry.
Absolutely.
Uh,
What about black seed oil?
definitely got 2 jars of that.
Yeah, and I'm listening to you, and you kind of like about to get me back on my time.
Listen,
My time.
all right, listen. Sometimes you gotta do like a test, right? So what you do is whatever you struggle with physically, right? You do like a performance test. That's what I do. Whatever you struggle with physically, right? You know what I'm saying? Then after like a day or two, right? You just up in your dosage or whatever, right? Then after a while, you're gonna see like small improvements. Like to be honest, it was very hard for me to squat barbell. I stayed away from that shit. But taking my supplements, you know what I'm saying, putting the right shit in my body. I banged out 5 reps of 225 like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So just become better with your mind, your body, and your spirit.
That kind of like goes back to just to kind of like bring certain things full circle when we spoke about styles a couple
Shout
episodes
out
back.
Styles Big, yeah.
Yeah, and I talked about that's what enticed me to kind of like go on my journey, and
Yeah.
through that I picked up a bunch of stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna say maybe over like the last year, I just haven't been. I still got a little bit of sea moss in there. Got 2 jars of black seed.
Mhm.
I pretty much depleted all the elderberry and the it was something else that I would use. No, it was just the sea moss, elderberry, and then black seed. They were my 3 things on top of like the fresh fruits and
Yeah,
you know,
even so, like with that,
greens.
like I still eat bad shit, but it's like
Yeah,
I like
gotta have a balance.
yeah, it's all about balance. Like you just want to simmer it down. Like if you eat like some fried chicken and fries,
Yeah,
make sure you eat your fruits, your veggies, your
Yeah.
supplements, drink a lot of water, shit like that, and like you know what I'm saying. Like one day actually, I went to the gym, right?
Mhm.
Got on scale, I said 233, bro.
Yeah.
I said I'm a fat fuck.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was
This
like,
dude, shout out.
I said I'm a fat fuck. Like I don't knock people that's bigger than me, but like mentally, I was like, damn, bro, like I'm slow as shit because like sometimes I get tired running. You know what I'm saying? I park in Upper Darby and it be cold as shit sometimes. So sometimes I run full speed to the crib for that little 30-second, like full speed, Tyreek Hill speed. I run a 4.2. Yeah, I said it, 4.2.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? So now I don't be tired. So just try and get better every day.
So I wanna before we go too far away, I want to touch back on Ramadan. So that I just wanted to share with you that it did come up in a conversation between Jazz and I want to just shout out Jazz for being on point about you in that area. And I said she brought it up and made me think about it. And I said, well, you know what, Quan is. I don't think that he's actually Muslim, but I know that he has friends and he has associates who are, and he's around that. And just it just made sense with the journey that you've been on, since we've been starting this. So shout out to you, for making an attempt to do such a great thing.
That's the good thing about Shaq too. We always challenge each other for greatness, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like last year, remember he did the last year during Ramadan, he did 30 days of raw fruits and vegetables. Loser had to eat the hot chip. I lost. So I had to eat hot chip. So
Is that what that video is from on your joint? It's from you losing.
Yeah. We do stuff like baldies, all that. Like you know what I'm saying. We just and then in the process, we learn something about each other. Like, oh shit, yo, I can do this. I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got another bet right now. It's Warriors and Grizzlies though.
Well, what in the playoffs?
Yeah, he said the Grizzlies gonna beat the Warriors. I'm like, come on.
So I just want to share with you too. I'm glad you brought that up. So all right, cool. So we good? Are we done here?
Yeah, we
good. All right. So we're gonna get to that. So we're gonna get to a point where we talk about the Grizzlies, and if you want to bring up the Warriors again. So let's get our show started, man. That was a great introduction, Quan. Welcome back. I'm proud of you. I'm glad to see that you're doing some great stuff.
One last thing.
What you got?
My homie birthday just passed. Shout out Britt.
Okay. Always.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
I know you want to say.
Shout out to Britt. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. Shout out to Britt. So nonetheless, I was just saying, man, I'm proud of you for taking the steps necessary to make yourself better. So continue to push forward, and I'm proud of you, man. We gonna get to that, Quan.
Bars.
Yeah, so we got a show that was just a half an hour. That was our introduction. So now let's get into
I thought it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll get into some of the topics. So shout out to Jazz, our executive producer. She always taps in and she gives us a structured lineup of topics to speak about. So I'm gonna just follow her lead and we're gonna just talk about a few things. So since our last time here, Quan, a lot of things in entertainment have transpired. So we're gonna try to touch on a few of those things. So we'll just ease into a few. I'm not sure where you are. I know you're reading a lot of books.
Nah, unless I'm in tune.
Okay, cool. So I just want to start with
For most.
okay, that's fine. Whatever it is. Let me ask you this: you got unpopular opinions? If you don't, that's fine. I got some.
I got maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, that'll
Off the
work.
top.
That'll work. That'll work if you do have them. So I just wanted to ask that before we got there. So since, like I said, since our last recording, a lot of things have come about. So one of the things I just want to talk about to make the conversation, especially after that kind of introduction, just make it a little bit more, freeing. Uh, have you seen any new movie releases? Have you watched any movies?
Ironically, not yet.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Listen, I've been trying to see Creed.
Yeah.
But this dude, the schedule's like, they don't got no early joints.
Yeah,
They don't got no late joints.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to either go to like a 10 o'clock joint or
Mhm.
8 o'clock because I'm an early bird.
So Creed is. I'm glad you brought up Creed because Creed is one of our one of the movies we did. Me and Jazz got a chance to see
Sellouts.
it. Yeah, we got a chance to see it. I think the week it came out. So it's been about 2 or 3 weeks now. So do you want to talk about it? Do you want to do a review? Do you want to
Sure,
hear my
why not?
review
Yeah,
on it?
why not?
All right, cool. So, okay, so just for those who may or may not know, Creed is a spinoff of Rocky.
Mhm.
The idea is that Creed is the son of Apollo. Adonis Creed is the son of Apollo Creed, which was at one point in time one of Rocky's enemies who became his friend
Mhm.
and lost his life at the hands of Alvin Drago. So also understand this, Quan. My review is also not just from a consumer standpoint, it's also from like a producer standpoint too,
Mhm.
like the build of the movie. But nonetheless, I'll just start with a rating. If I could give it a rating from out of 1 out of 5, let's not do 10. 1 out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I knew you was going to say 3 at least.
Yeah, 3.5. And the reasons why, shout out that we got Joe on the TV. He shared some of my same sentiments.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he shared some of my same
Oh, no, I
sentiments.
thought the singer?
Yeah, he shared some of my same sentiments that I shared with Jazz in the moment of, and it was, I was watching one of his episodes a few days ago, and he kind of like shared the same sentiments. Nonetheless, one of my biggest gripes was it seemed like sped through. They didn't give enough time to like build the dialogue of what was happening there.
Mhm.
You follow me? It was a lot going on there. And without I don't want to spoil it for you because you intend to see it. But yeah, they could have did a better job with like dialogue. Storyline was pretty dope, but that's what I'm saying. Like as far as the storyline, they just kind of like sped through it. They didn't give it enough time to like build up the anticipation for certain things. So much so that some things were predictable, if you will,
Mhm.
for me, as a viewer. But nonetheless, I thought it was a good so one of the things I did see, so I got a chance to watch Michael B. Jordan's interview on $1 Million Worth of Game.
I ain't see
And
it.
one of the things he talks about is his love for anime and how he took like some of the concepts of the fighting in anime and put it inside of the movie. And I'm glad I get that context ahead of time because I don't watch anime, but I do know it. But I probably wouldn't have picked it out if I didn't have the prior knowledge to it. But nonetheless, he did a good job. Oh, and that's another thing too. This was Michael B. Jordan's first
Directing movie.
yes. So in terms of that, I thought it was great because it was his first effort as a director. Um yeah, it's just the storyline. The storyline wasn't bad. I just think they could have did a better job at letting it play out.
Yeah,
You follow me?
Probably made it longer too.
And I'll say this to you. I'm not going to share this with you because you didn't see it, but when you let me know when you do see it, I'm gonna ask you this here, and then just so that when you do get a chance, you'll have this in mind. There is a setup for future. There's a setup within the story for future storyline, and I want to see if you could pull it out.
All right.
If you could pick it out, it's plain as it's clear as day right there, and I'm willing to bet that that's the route that they're about to take with the movie, just because, like I said, how everything was so sped through. But nonetheless, good movie. My only gripe was just the fact that I thought they could have savored the storyline a little bit. Gave more anticipation. So 3.5 out of 5. Yeah.
House Party.
House Party.
I thought you was gonna say you saw House Party.
No, you have you?
I saw it yesterday.
Okay, so let's talk
it's on
about it.
HBO.
That's good. So tell me about it.
It was okay movie. I think that it's people's expectation that it ruined it because you follow in the footsteps of an iconic movie and everybody's like, oh, can it live up to it? And it's like,
is this the one that LeBron executive produced?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only part I really didn't like was like LeBron's acting. It's like trash. You know what I'm saying? It's like it wasn't good acting. It's like LeBron, you stay behind the scenes, bro.
Who were the main characters?
I don't know the other boy, but Jacob Lattimore and then the other boy. I don't know
Jacob Lattimore.
He's on The Shy. Oh, I forgot.
I know who Jacob Lattimore. No, I do. We gonna get right there.
All right,
I just don't watch him now because people because on social media people kind of like ruined the anticipation of the show, which is something that we'll get into too. But no, I was a Shy from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, at season 1.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm familiar with
I give it like
Emmett. You talking about Emmett?
Yeah,
I know he is.
I give it like a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right.
Would you so you recommend it? You think it's something that I should watch?
I mean, why not?
Okay.
I'm saying it was some parts. It's like when they try to reenact the 3. I don't even know their names in the movie, but Full Force.
Yeah.
When they try to like reenact that.
What are you talking about?
You gonna kick your fucking ass? Yeah. When they try to like reenact them, like that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because they had Rotimi playing one of them.
Who?
Rotimi.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, and it was
because of the nose and the hair.
Yeah,
stuff.
but they didn't do it. Then they had what's the boy? He played Man Boy on
Man Boy, that name.
Yeah.
On what?
Snowfall.
From the dude, young boy from the. I mean, not a young, but he from the
From Vine.
Instagram.
Yeah, from Vine. Yeah, they had him. Then they had somebody else, but like that was just like a bad setup. Like that.
Okay.
That little. Like they just did a bad job with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'll give it a 3. I'll probably watch it because of the fact LeBron's there, and it just, I mean, it's a classic. So I always try to give those a shot. Like I enjoyed the actual.
Yeah, it's all right, Lord John.
So a 3. So you give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
on
so
a great day.
Have you seen the Chris Rock special on Netflix?
No, I seen the peak. Everybody saw the peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it that far. I tried to watch it.
But it's everywhere. It's like what, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's everywhere. YouTube, everywhere.
I tried to that kind of like plays into. It's funny that kind of like plays into one of the bits that we used for promotion for our last episode again. If we're being honest, we talked about in that episode. They asked about the question was what was our favorite part of the podcast, and it was when you and I were talking about Chris Rock.
Yeah, I remember.
But nonetheless, Chris Rock just isn't funny to me. He's not a funny guy, and I tried to watch it, and there were funny parts, but they weren't like, oh my God, like he did get chuckles out of me. I'll be honest, but it's just he a little cringe. So I didn't even get to watch the peak of it, if you will. So you want to talk? You want to share like what that was like?
All right, so he basically, I'm just get straight to him. He basically talked about the Will Smith situation, and as I'm watching it, I'm very disappointed. Very. So the reason why I'm disappointed in him is because it's like, bro, I understand from a business standpoint, you want to talk about it now and make money off it, but it's like, yo, where was energy when you got slapped? And I agree with him getting slapped, but it's like, why you didn't address it back then? You know what I'm saying? Then you start calling her out her name, like, yeah, this bitch. And wait a minute,
he was doing that on a special?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, because this bitch. And I'm like, come on, bro. And like, really pissed me off about him. He was like, yeah, because my mama told me you don't fight around rich white people. And I'm like, come on, bro. So you going to fight around rich black people? What kind of hoe ass shit is that, Christopher? And he's like, oh, yeah, man, he's way bigger than me.
I could see Chris being like coerced into doing that because maybe the money was just too. Maybe it was just too great. Maybe, and then even as two people would, they had blackmail you like, bro, we don't want to hear, we don't want to see you about nothing else until you talk about this Will Smith. We don't want to book you for no movies.
I get it from a business standpoint. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't agree with like all that other shit. And it, like when he said don't fight around like white people and shit, it's like, come on, bro. Like, that's some coon shit.
I mean, but that was my whole point about him. And when we talked about him at the earlier point, is like, hey, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm off the Chris Rock, bro.
So what would you rate
0.
it? Just damn, out of 5? 0 out of 5?
Because it's like I hold like when it comes to comedy, I hold certain people to certain standards. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make me laugh. Like even that part did not make me laugh. It's like it sounded like he was being emotional with anything. I didn't see it, but that's the only part. So that one part, 0.
I might have to check. At least, I didn't know that they had that part available,
Yeah, like,
which makes sense. But
even before it
I'll
came
be
out,
having, I'll probably have to
even
check
before
that
it came
out.
out, I think it was on. But yeah, give him 0 because like it wasn't funny, especially that part. Nah.
So it's 0 out of 5, huh?
Yep, yeah, I said it. Fuck you, Chris Rock.
I'm okay with that.
So there's a few other movies, in me and Jazz's journey watching Creed. We saw a bunch of new movies.
Man,
that
niggas
had
be at the
come
movies
out.
and shit.
We only went one time, but
Damn,
there's a
y'all was
few
there all day, huh?
No, we only seen the one joint.
Oh, you pulled the old school joint. See the movie already. Slip another one.
Yeah, but no, I haven't seen these ones. These are just some movies that are previews that we saw.
Okay.
So I just want to, I guess, like kind of like get you, if you've seen that the preview came out, just give me your thoughts on it. Like, do you think it's going, it should be good or not? So the first one, let's talk about the Jordan movie. I don't know if it's titled Air Jordan, but it's based around.
I heard something about that.
It looks pretty interesting. If I'm not mistaken, I think it has Matt Damon. What's the Jazz always say that's my girl, Viola. Viola is
play the mom.
Yes, Jordan's mom. So basically, what it's about is it's not so much about Jordan, but it's about the Jordan sneaker and how Nike was at that point wasn't doing too good, and how Jordan
saved them.
Basically, is what the movie is about.
Is
So
that usually what happens?
Absolutely,
Adidas.
Yeah. So do you think you're gonna watch it? Would you watch it?
I say the previews.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it like for me, I think the interest in there for me, aside from like Michael Jordan, because it's not like, oh, Mike, I gotta see. Now, granted, when they do, they're working on a Mike biopic, I'm definitely gonna see that. But that's because of who it is and what it should be good, right? But nonetheless, I think for me the attraction there is the business aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
How they ripping them off and stuff, yeah.
Or just how they handled being in such a position and how they crawled out of it. Because if they weren't doing good, they got even Chris Tucker in there. He was pushing, Converse. Yeah, Converse is the best shoe. Nike, so having that kind of context when nowadays Nike is one of the biggest, if not the biggest brand, but at one point in time they weren't, that kind of like interests me to see like some of the things that they did in order to become that. You know what I mean? So I think I'll give it a watch. It should be good.
I'll see what it's in for.
Yeah, just from that aspect of things. It's not Michael Jordan. If even in the previews, they never really showed Michael Jordan. They showed, I can't even remember who played his dad, but they showed more of Viola Davis as his mom, because I'm pretty sure she had more of excuse me, I'm getting a little static. I don't know where. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll edit that out. But nonetheless, probably because she's the main, or maybe his mother had a lot to do, and that's what I'm getting the feeling from the previews, that she had a lot to do with, because Jordan was still young at that time. So that maybe they, went through his mom to kind of like, maybe we'll talk to his mom.
Persuade him into it.
Yep. So, I think I'll give it a watch. What else they had? They also coming out with a George Foreman movie.
Oh, I saw that, John. I gotta go see that one.
That's a fact. I think that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I gotta go see that, John.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was thinking about it. Jazz called these movies culturally relevant, which I think they all are. All the ones that we spoke about thus far. But the George Foreman thing, I just laughed at. Like for my age, George Foreman, he was boxing. I think a lot of boxers.
But it's on the back end.
Yes, and because they aren't financially stable, so they have to fight. They're only fighting at 50 years old because they need the money. They're not fighting because they love boxing. They just gotta get the money. But my connection to George Foreman is the George Foreman grill. It has nothing to do with his boxing.
My connection is the game.
The game?
Yeah, it was a fighting game. I'm not
okay.
Sure, I remember I used to always pick George Foreman. Just knock everybody out.
Okay.
It wasn't fight night. It was like a PlayStation 1 game.
Okay.
That was a good John.
Yeah, he I'll say George Foreman is excuse me. I'll say George Foreman is Yeah, George Foreman Grill, and I think that's where he made a shit ton of money.
That's
off
where
of
he made
Foreman Grills.
mostly all his money.
Yeah,
After he lost it all.
yeah, because even when he might have made a lot of money with fighting Muhammad Ali, but that was the timing in which it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesley's coming out in a new movie.
Who?
Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
It's like it looked like a comedy, but I don't like it
Mhm.
because like the type of movie it is, like, yo, why would you put him in that? He probably need the money to be doing that type of movie.
Mhm.
Look it up on YouTube. That's all I'm gonna say.
What's the name of it?
Like Sin or some shit like this.
Okay.
It's like some fucking stripper type John. Yeah, he like a manager. I'm like, come on, bro.
A manager of a stripper.
Yeah, male stripper
right.
at that.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Exactly.
Pause on the play, man.
Exactly.
I also want to mention before we touch our last movie, I also want to mention that they supposed to be coming out reports of the Dennis Rodman movie. They got me chopped.
Yeah.
I said
the bull.
he in Creed. That's in
Yeah,
Creed
yeah.
Rumble. Jazz knows his name. I can't never remember.
Jonathan
his name.
Majors.
Yep. So I'm excited to see that. I will see that. It's just I said I don't know. We might gotta pause because he was wilding
I
out.
thought bull was like 40. He went 33.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in watching a life story of Dennis Rodman.
You ever saw Bad as I Want to Be? It's a Dennis Rodman movie. It's like from the early 2000s.
It was about him. Who
Yeah.
played him?
I forgot his name, but it was.
I don't know. I'm familiar with his story.
I don't know his name.
I don't know
watched
if I've seen a movie, but I'm pretty sure I've seen enough documentation about him to know enough about his story. You feel me?
He definitely marketing it like a motherfucker right now on clothes.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in seeing that movie. Lastly, in our movie section, we got it's this movie called 1001,
Never heard
starring Tiana Taylor. So I
gotta watch it.
again, this was another preview, John. So basically, and I might be, excuse me if I'm chopping it up, but basically, what I know about the movie is that she's a mother. She's a young mother. And it's so funny because it's funny as shit, but she's a young mother.
Sounds familiar now.
And I mean, it definitely gives Luz and Isaiah that kind of vibe. But Jazz told me the plot twist is that she lost the child to the foster system, and then she kidnapped them. Or hold on, Quan. Or maybe it wasn't her birth child. Maybe she had some type of connection to this child. I don't know, but it looked very good.
That sounds familiar too.
It looked very good.
The story sounds familiar.
Yeah. Excuse me if I'm chopping it up, but it's called 1001, starring Tiana Taylor. It looks like a good outing for her. So I think I would like to see that one too. It looks very interesting.
Imam gonna be in it?
Who?
Imam.
Probably not. That don't make no sense to have him in there.
Yeah, I just said.
Yeah, so that's a good one too. I'm looking forward to that. That's pretty much all that I saw. That as far as like cinema, that I'm like, oh, I gotta see this. You know what I mean? So moving forward, I don't want to hold too much time. Anything else about cinema? You want to get anything off about movies? Anything?
Nah, not at the moment.
Okay, cool. So, Quan, let's hear some. Give me some. What we about? All right. So before, maybe we'll hold off unpopular opinions until after this next topic. Another major thing that has transpired since the last time we talked, Quan, is this Ja Morant thing.
Oh.
I would love to get your input on this. So let me just bring it to our. I'm pretty sure at this point you should probably be, our listeners should probably be very aware of the storyline. But if you're not, I'll share it with you. Ja Morant he's been under fire for not only posting guns on his social media stories, but also being accused of violent acts towards others, and just wilding out as an NBA superstar, up and coming, the face of if you ask me, the face of the new NBA.
One of them.
I mean, we could get to that, but I'm just telling you, because we slightly had this and I think this is a great segue for the Warriors and that talk, because I do want to speak about that. Nonetheless, what happened is, through that, obviously Ja Morant is making about what, 200 and some million throughout his contract, or he's due to
next year.
Okay, so these corporations, this big old company is investing all these millions into you. Obviously, you don't want to go out there and make these kinds of decisions, and then even you getting endorsement deals. So it kind of put Ja in a bad position. If you ask me, the powers that be gave him an out and gave him an opportunity to clean his shit up, right? Because they could have automatically outlawed him. They could have said, to me, if you ask me, they gave him an out, they cleaned it up, right? So what happened is he you know how many games he was suspended for?
8 games.
8 games. It started off 2, so it extended to 8.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he also did some counseling, right? So let's just start with Quan. Let's get you. And then last night he just returned for his first game last night. So shout out to Ja for that, for getting through the bullshit, right? So let's just start with the beginning, Quan. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on just him being in such a position?
Well,
And
to be honest, I'm disappointed in him and the NBA.
okay,
Okay, so it's like I'm disappointed because like, yo, man, people actually sacrifice their life to get in the position you are in, right? And then you get there and do some stupid shit like that. I've always said, like, social media has become so addicting that people do dumb shit on there. It's like we grew up, people sold drugs and did dirt. They were to keep it off of. Now it's like, got my gun with me. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, like, he's a fucking kid. He's what, 23?
yeah, I didn't realize he was that young,
Yeah,
but he's
only,
very young.
He's only 23, and like
He might be 22, but yeah,
they
very
probably,
young.
yeah, but like he ain't even mature. He ain't even mature yet to understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? He probably come from middle class family. You know what I'm saying? Imagine going from middle class.
So let's point this out too. His father is there. You know, you
Always there.
So how does that? How do you think that plays into what's going on and transpiring with Ja and his ex? Right?
Society. You know what I'm saying? The influence, the shit that you put. Remember, I was saying to put your.
So I'm asking about his father. Like, do we hold his father accountable? You said we disappointed in Ja and we disappointed in the NBA. Like, does his father, who's there, because we seen his father in action.
Yeah.
Do we somewhat hold him accountable?
Me, no, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because like, you can act a certain way as a father, but your child, they have accountability and responsibility.
Right.
So whatever you do to them, you could be the worst father in the world, right? But your child has to take their own responsibility of how they react to the shit
Absolutely.
you brought to them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
agree.
So I don't hold him accountable.
I would say yes, only because and I do agree, not in disagreement with what you said. I agree with what you said, but the reason why I would say yes, we do hold the father accountable is because I agree. Ja has to be accountable no matter what. But as his father hasn't been the best example of a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to him. Let me not say he hasn't been the best example, but he could lead by a better example, is what I'd rather say. I'm not going, because I don't know that man, right? But when we see him acting out in such a manner, it kind of like shows, you know, even if Ja is the moneymaker, you know, that's his father. He has a love and a certain respect for his father. And it makes me wonder, like, what are those conversations like when it's just one-on-one? Is it like, yo, my son made it to NBA, we rich now, go give a fuck, do what you want? Or is it like, yo, son, like, this is like you said, this is a once in a lifetime. Not everybody gets this opportunity. We not gonna fuck this up. If you feel like maybe you don't need to be in the club, but if you feel like you need to go to the club, we gonna get the right people around you.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry a gun. You don't need to be a thug. You know, and I, again, not to blame his father, but I feel like his father should be held to some responsibility and some accountability.
And I think they're banning outings now for the team.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They just wilding. Yeah, they wilding.
Yeah, but he said it wasn't his gun.
So which brings me to Jalen Rose and shit.
Shout out to Jalen Rose, the realest. He the realest, bro.
What was that? You don't think he was trying to coerce him into ratting and shit? Like trying walk him, ushering me.
He probably was.
He said, he was like, Ja, whose gun was it? He did it. Whose gun was it, bro? And Ja answered it, and maybe that was set up too, right? Maybe Jalen had to pose the question, right?
Of course he did.
And maybe they trained Ja to be able to answer it, right? Because Ja answered it very well.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah, no, they of course he do. A little off topic, but that's why I don't got like Jalen Rose on certain like John.
Yeah.
Because he like too real.
Yeah.
So they just put him on like the bullshit joint that, oh yeah, everybody at work are doing this. They ain't gonna watch it anyways.
Yeah.
But that was probably his biggest joint. But anyways, back to Ja Morant. Said it wasn't his gun, which goes to my next point. It's like, nigga, why you showing it? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I don't
Yeah.
understand anything. Like, why would you show it? You know he lost a deal with Coca-Cola.
Yeah. So that goes back to my original point in like maybe even the father, the people that he got around him. Because if Ja doesn't understand, although he is grown, but he's still young, he probably doesn't, you know what I mean? He probably doesn't really fully understand.
Yeah.
And if you don't come from it, like you said, middle class, so you never had no example of what this success is supposed to be.
Mhm.
You are it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to be that young and separate yourself from such things when this is what you came up in. This is how I always acted.
Yeah.
This is how I see the people around me act. So whether or not I got money or not, it don't make it no different because this is who I am.
Yeah.
But where does his understanding come from that you have to be different? You have to do things differently. I think it should have come from his father. If his father didn't understand, I don't care if his father a gangster or not. I don't care if his father in the streets or not. He should protect his son by all means, especially if his son is the means of the lifestyle that we currently have. You know what I mean? So I again, not to blame his father, but I feel like his father could have been more helpful in that area.
I hope he bounced back.
He will.
Yeah.
They gave him the opportunity to. I don't think that it's been lined up, you know, and I even thought about this. This is something that I've heard. Everybody is comparing it to
Gilbert.
Yes. When I really think they need to be comparing it to.
I think it's totally different because if you listen to Gilbert's situation, I think Gilbert's was a little worse.
Yeah, no, the only reason why they're comparing it to Gilbert because it involved the actual gun.
I know.
So that's the only comparison to it. But I'm talking about the mentality and what's actually happening, the level of ignorance.
Mhm.
AI.
Why?
Why what?
Why you compare it to AI?
Because it's the same level of ignorance. This I'm so connected. I even all respect the AI. I listen to AI talk. He's still not willing to take accountability for how his career. Now, granted, he might feel okay with how it played out because he made it to the Hall of Fame. But for real, bro, you ain't outside of what you did do, Greek. If we talking about the game, we not talking about practice. We ain't talking about nothing. We talking about the game. You ain't did nothing for real. Respectfully, I'm just being respectful.
To be fair, it's all perspectives. Because it's like, what's the objective to go to NBA?
What you mean?
What's the objective to go to NBA? Take care of your family.
Absolutely, he did that, but still, it's still a level of ignorance that AI walks around with. That I think that we as hold on, let me say that I think we as black men need to rid ourselves of. Okay, that's fine. Men of color, more whatever you want to call us, bro. Men of color, we need to rid ourselves of. It has nothing to do with trying to fit into their world.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with trying to be an Uncle Tom. It has everything to do with the example that we set for the youth, the people coming behind us. That's it. Because they're the future. Now, granted, AI may have been in the same position where he didn't have the guidance that he needed, but you made enough mistakes to be a better example now at this point in your career, where it's like, yo, young, with that conversation, like when he maybe his first and second year, he was very close to Ja.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, what is that conversation like? Don't make the same mistakes as me, bro. I see you. I see the comparison. Anyone to compare. Don't be like me. Be greater than me. You know, be greater. Be a great. Oh, I thought that was me. Be a greater example for the youth that look up to you. Because so let me ask you this: is Ja not doing the same thing? Is he not transcending the game? Is he not? Does he not have the same likeness? It might not be as iconic at the moment, but does he not have the same likeness that even the appeal to the city of Memphis that AI may have had to the city of Philadelphia?
I think it's close, but transcending, yeah. Transcending, yeah. I mean, he has the likability, I believe. I compare him more to D Rose.
D Rose was not as reckless.
I'm talking about the game wise.
We're not talking about the game. We're talking about the issue at hand.
Right. Oh, my bad.
Remember the gun?
Yeah, my bad.
We're not talking about his skill on the court. We're talking about the mentality and the attitude that has caused him to make such decisions and not understanding the severity of certain situations, right? When for real, you have the things around you. In AI's defense, AI might not have had that around him. The coaches and shit, like AI ain't had no father. Ja up one because he got his father there.
Mm-hmm.
So what his coaches might have been able to tell him when he was 13, 14 years old, they definitely probably couldn't have told him when he was 23, 24, because it's like, yo, this me. And I get that level of ignorance. But I feel like when you hit a certain point of your life, when you've made those mistakes, because I don't care how great of a ball handler or how much of a warrior AI is. The point that I hear very few people speak about concerning AI is that his stubbornness and willingness to grow held him back. Am I tripping?
Nah.
Because and I know we love AI, but I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. You know, again, I'll speak on how when AI went to Detroit, a championship ball club, how he depleted that ball team because his unwillingness to come off the bench. If the objective is how ignorant, so why are you still playing the game then? Why are you still playing the game if the objective was just to make it to the NBA? And it's not, that's a bogus answer too, Quan, because it's not like he was financially straight. He was fucking money up too. So niggas was just being ignorant all the way around. So my point in even bringing it up to Ja is, when I look at AI, yeah, I'm going to look at how much, he was small, he was a warrior, he was fearless. Yeah, but also too, these other things that I might want to be a part of, and I see how it affected him. But the level of ignorance that no matter how much money we obtain as people of color, we want to call us Moors, whatever you want to call us, right? We tend to find comfort. That's why this episode that's dropping tomorrow is going to be called "Ignorance is Bliss," because people find comfort in the bliss of ignorance, because you don't have to, in your ignorance, you don't have to deal with reality. Reality doesn't set in when you're gloating in ignorance. And to me, the whole situation, Ja does have to be accountable, but I want to hold the people that's around him even more accountable. Not even the NBA team. I really want to hold his father accountable because that's his boy. No, you're not. But where does his understanding come from? The GM of the Memphis Grizzlies going to tell my son? I just told all due respect to my son, mom, she just tried to tell me about how somebody walked up to her and told her that my son should play football. I said, fuck, I don't need no stranger to walk up and tell me about my son. I know what's going on with him. We need to focus on the things that's truly important. That's where my focus is. But nonetheless, where does that understanding come from? I think we hold Ja because it was his actions. So regardless if he didn't get the proper guidance or the proper setup to be successful in that area, he still has to be accountable. That's a lesson for him to learn, because it's not his father under fire. It's not AI. It's not nobody else. It's him. So he has to live with that. So I agree that he does have to be accountable. But these people that's around him benefiting off of him being in the NBA, they need to be a little bit more accountable too. There's no way in the world I'm letting my young boy, my son, my little nephew, my cousin carry a fucking gun around.
Well, sometimes you can lead a horse to water, can't make him drink it.
I agree. AI.
That's the only problem.
AI. No, I agree. That's who AI was. And it's sad to watch play out. I just watched him try to talk about his career and be arrogant about his career. But I'm telling you, the fact that he did not win, the things that give AI the place in the hearts of the NBA fans is, again, the things that we talked about that make them similar to Ja. When we talking about the fraternity of brothers, is a little different, bro. Yeah, AI, what's up, AI? But you got to sit over there. This the championship table. When we having the 75-year or the 100-year John, can't sit. Shaq, shake your hand from here, but you gotta sit over there with Charles and them. You can't sit here like it wasn't set up for you to sit here. It's a little different. And my thing is, if you still financially fucked up, if you still mentally fucked up, what are we talking about at 50? Respectfully.
Deep.
I'm just talking about for anybody. What we talking about? So that's why I'm saying, too, the ignorance will allow us to say, well, he did this, but he's still struggling in that area, too. So my point is with Ja, like, I don't know if AI had much of a influence in Ja's career as I would like to see it, but I do remember them trying to, like, the comparison. He's sitting sideline, shaking hands. Oh, what's up, my nigga? All that shit. You feel me? If I'm AI, or if I take a certain likeness to Ja, I'm going to try to guide the young man.
I'm pretty sure he had a talk with him, because I've seen plenty of times where he tried to tell the younger players, like, don't do what I did. You learn from my mistakes, type of John.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of those.
I ain't trying to respect the AI. I ain't trying to be 50 with a hoodie on and without sleeves and shit in a bug. Cause I don't want to mess up my weave and shit. Nigga got a weave and shit.
Yeah, I don't got weave, bro. Don't do that. We know, y'all got no fucking weave.
Shag that. And people ain't gonna like this. These Philly fans is not. And it made me realize I never respect. I wasn't a Kobe fan. I think I liked AI by default, but I did like
What was your man's?
I don't know. I think I just loved the game. I just like
T-Mac.
it wasn't. I don't think I had a favorite player of that era, bro. I think I just, I came up in the and one era where with the Nike commercial, and that's what I'm saying. I might have liked Steve, but to call him my favorite player is a long shot. It was hard for me to make AI my favorite player because the niggas wasn't winning. That's hard. I'm a grown. I'm telling you, for me, I know that's not the popular way of doing that, but niggas ain't do shit for real.
You shouldn't. I'm seeing now traumatized. Eagles just lost. I'm still
Niggas ain't do nothing, bro. And he was cool, and I think that was the likeness. Once they switched to them black jerseys, I don't know. I was too much a fan when they. I had the red Philly jersey, the joint that say Sixers in blue letters, and it was red number 3.
I had a Clarence
with
Willis
the answers. Yeah. So it was a little different. Once he left out of that era, I don't know. I just love the game so much that I found just like joy in just everything about it. You feel me? I don't know if I had like a favorite basketball team at that point.
Wow.
You feel me?
Well, I'm glad that Ja's about to come back.
He came back last night. I don't know
what
what
he's
it's
on sideline, but I want him to come back for the
playoffs. No. Who?
I want him to come back for
Ja
the playoffs.
played last night, bro.
He didn't play last night.
So what was with the mask on? That wasn't him.
Oh shit, he was here. Oh, I'm tripping. He banged on what's the name? My fault. I forgot all about that. Yeah, he did. He banged on some. Oh, King Martin's son.
Okay. Yeah. So he did one of the things I seen because they did an ovation for him with like 3 minutes left in the first quarter, so he didn't start. I'm assuming. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ja. So nonetheless, shout out to Ja. Prayerfully, he learned this lesson through his mistakes because he still has an opportunity to do the things that he set out to do. So as a black man, I'm proud of him and I'm cheering for him in that area. I just don't want. It would be sad to see him destroy everything that he worked hard for and everything that he built for just off of something so senseless. It's not. Yeah. It's not necessary.
And despite that, the media will use you and basically destroy your career.
Yeah,
like they did my man Brody.
Yeah. And Ja, so this is what I want to talk about. So you wanted to talk about the Warriors. You have a bet with
Dashek
on the Warriors versus the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Warriors gonna spank them.
So this is one of the things I wanted to point out. I'm not. But I wanted to point out that 2 things that I noticed about that rival right there is
it's not a rival.
It is.
It's not.
Because they up and coming. The Warriors.
You gotta win.
I know. The Warriors are the kings of the shit, and they are the updated young boys trying to make a name. Because if you look at it, the Warriors bounced them like in the playoffs, right? Last year. Now, the Grizzlies was the number 1 seed, correct? They was the higher seed.
Was 2 seed.
But they was the higher seed, right? So nonetheless, one of the things, if you remember, if you go back, one of the things I spoke about the Warriors when we were talking about Draymond Green, where did I say he should go? To the Grizzlies. Yeah. And my reason why was for the same reasons that more than likely the Grizzlies will get bounced if they do see the Warriors in the playoffs is that they don't have the experience. One of the things, now granted, that would have fit perfectly there, right? But nonetheless, I thought this is another thing that stood out to me, that they need that kind of piece. If it's not Draymond Green, they're missing that. And who is supposed to be their Draymond Green right now?
The fan. That's what I call him, the fan.
So I peeped that whole joint. Like, so yeah, they just a Draymond Green away.
Ironically, he don't like Draymond, right? But who do you say he wanted to be?
I know.
The league. I'm just saying.
I know, but I think that's just part of how the story has played out.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Idols become rivals. That's just how it plays out sometimes. That he would put Draymond in such a position and didn't find himself in a situation where he gotta overcome. He has to knock him out. So I would, based off of what you placed on it, I wouldn't mind seeing them too.
Who led the league in fouls last year?
I don't No.
The Fan. I just want to say, and the Fan is a dirty player.
I'm seeing that. Like,
He a
he's
dirty
definitely.
player.
It seemed like this year, I just seen that he got suspended 18 technicals on the
Yeah,
season.
Draymond got suspended too.
So for the people that don't know, we're talking about Dylan Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies,
Never heard
just
of
so you
him.
don't know.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, so and Dylan, if you don't know who Dylan Brooks is, he's the young fella who basically ignited the back and forth
he be-
with
he be-
Shannon Sharp a few
And
months
he
ago.
be wearing the Stone Cold outfits.
Yeah. So it'll be good to play out. So let me ask you this: what's your thoughts on since we talking about basketball? I don't want to spend too much time here, but I did want to speak about that part since you talked about having to bet, and I'm like, that's what they need. They need that. If it's not the experienced piece, it's the wait a minute. Did they have Iggy? But that was before Ja got there, right? Where was Iggy at before he came back to the Warriors? Where was he at?
The Grizzlies.
He was
No,
on the-
my fault. He was on the Heat, but he was on the Grizzlies for a while. And Iggy was on Shannon Sharp. He talked about it. Like,
yeah.
they wanted to use him as a piece for trading, and they just kept
Mm,
leveraging him.
stupid.
No, they kept leveraging him. He wasn't even supposed to play, and he was just like leverage, and nobody bit. And you know what I'm saying? It was just been held
Until he signed back with the Warriors, right? It wasn't a
Yeah.
trade. So
Yeah,
fire.
signed
That's
back
fire.
with him.
Shout out to Iggy. Iggy, that was another thing too. When I didn't watch it, but when I saw him sitting there and I saw like the little preview they was giving, I said, damn, Iggy did a hell of a job at turning his career around. Like the way it started out. I mean, he had a pretty good start to his career.
Yeah,
But he found himself in a perfect position with the Warriors,
yeah.
you know, as he got older. You know what I mean?
People wanted him to be the guy in Philly. He's like, that wasn't his role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then he went to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Then that's Then the
Yeah.
rest.
So I remember that was when he got Iggy was when he was at Family Dollar that summer there. It was either they got him during that playoffs when they lost. They got bounced in the second round. Who they lose to in the second round that year?
They lost to. Well, the last time they lost in
OKC?
No, they lost to
The Clippers.
the Clippers Game
Yeah.
7. That's why Miami was like, it's not 2014 no
Yeah.
more.
Did they have Iggy that year, or they went and got Iggy going into the championship year?
They had Iggy that year.
Okay.
Yeah, they had Iggy that year.
But I do remember that because I remember when they picked them, I said, "Oh, I like that. I like because Iggy still had some. He was still young at that point in
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? So adding them to at that point, Steph was still kind of like up and coming. He didn't. His breakout season was his championship.
No, he was
first
just like
year.
the human torch at the point.
Yeah.
He wasn't like fully
Like I ain't know
seasoned.
nothing about no Clay, Draymond, and none of them. It was just
But yeah,
Steph.
I remember Clay. I remember even on 2K. I forgot what 2K was. Like Clay had black arms and like a white body.
Mhm.
I still remember he was like a great player still.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep my eye out on that. Any other key matchups that you're looking forward to come to playoffs, which is they're approaching?
Oh, I want to see the Kings. I don't care who they play because Darren Fox, that's my guy. That's the only left-hand player I like.
Yeah,
I don't like James Harden.
yeah. James a little
Yeah.
cheesy. They probably gonna get smoked.
Yeah, of course they are, because somebody he just dropped 5 points the other day. And somebody was like, "Oh, I see, he getting ready for the playoffs."
Damn. Yeah, they gonna run into something. The East has weakened, especially with those current moves. So who you think gonna come out? Who you think got the best chance to come out the East?
I'm gonna say Boston
Mm-hmm.
or the Bucks as per usual.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to see.
I like Cleveland. What's his name?
Yeah, the new
Donovan.
yeah,
He's been
the new
looking.
look.
He's been
Yeah, the
looking
new
real
look, yeah.
good.
Yeah, they did a good job at building that team, and it'll probably take you never know because that one year, the bubble year, they was going crazy. Donovan, the other young boy,
Jamal Murray.
oh my gosh, bro. Well, he ain't been the same since that
Yeah.
injury, but I would have loved to see him like grow, flourish in that position. But so I would say like Boston. I thought about how Miami isn't doing too good.
They shaky.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I can see why the Bucks would be a contender, but I'm not really a fan of that. I really want Giannis to get up out of there.
I don't think they're gonna win anyway. That's just like
Yeah. I want to see Giannis go somewhere else and just do it again.
I mean, I like
You
his
feel me?
mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic. What about the West? So KD out for the season, right? Or at least into the playoffs, right?
They wasn't doing shit with or without him.
I don't know, Quan.
You
They
wanna-
was looking.
listen, let me tell you something.
Oh yeah, you a
They wa-
Warriors fan,
no,
so you're
I'm gonna
supposed
tell
to
you
say that.
something. They wasn't doing that with or without him. I'm gonna keep it a being like, I feel like D Booker, he didn't start popping shit until they finally made the playoffs. I don't like people like that. You pop shit all the time. It's like when he was talking shit to what's the boy name? Luka.
Yeah.
Gonna start popping shit the last 3 seconds of the game. I don't respect that shit. I don't respect that. And then they got Chris Paul, grandpop out there. He's still dirty though. You know what I'm saying? They not doing it without him.
I think that they would have. Who else did they gain in that trade other than KD?
Nobody.
It was just KD.
Yeah, they got rid of Jay Crowder.
Oh wow.
Mikal Bridges.
Wow. Oh yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn another one too. I wouldn't sleep on them if they make the playoffs. I wouldn't sleep on them. They even before they got KD in them, they was doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They was a playoff team.
Mm.
They might even made it to the second round on some bullshit. Like they did well. If they didn't make it to the second round, they had a crazy late season run, and then they probably took whoever they played in the first round.
I think they got swept they got swept last year to the Celtics.
Not before KD got there. Before
Oh yeah, they made it to
going
the
into the season
where
the off season where KD and Kyrie signed with them. I'm talking about back then.
I think they
They were doing good.
They had D'Lo.
And they had
Snitch.
what's the boy name with the
Snitch.
another one too. Don't forget about the Lakers. They a sleeper always.
Yeah.
I mean they got the king.
They're a sleeper, so I'm gonna say sleep.
Yeah, nah.
Let's be real.
LeBron, I think LeBron is frauding. I think the pop. I heard the pop. I think that was just to keep him.
All right, I felt about Lakers. One of them got to go.
What you mean?
AD or LeBron, they have to go.
Okay,
One of them has to.
they
go.
can make a run. I think they can make a
to
run.
the store.
We'll see. We'll be revisiting. The playoffs are coming up. We'll be revisiting this conversation. Another thing that happened, speaking of LeBron, another thing that happened since we hadn't talked was LeBron breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's luau sender for you,
Yes, sir.
his
I don't know
all-time
that.
scoring record. How you feel about that?
I was actually great. I was happy.
Yeah.
Seeing like some type of animosity from Luau.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be broke.
You seen that motherfucker?
Yeah, hating ass
You seen the
motherfucker.
meme where they made him like run off the sideline and block his foul for his free throw? I don't know how they did it, but they made Kareem Abdul-Jabbar run and block his shot.
Yeah, despite how people feel about LeBron, I mean, he deserves his flower.
Absolutely. You remember I was upset with him, and that made me come back to myself.
I'm still
Yeah.
upset with him.
Yeah.
But I'm call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel as though I'm always gonna pick LeBron over Jordan. It's bigger than the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than the game. Fuck the championship.
Did you see his son's going to be wearing? Bronny going to be wearing 23 in the All-American game, that McDonald's All-American.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, number 23.
He made the All-Star.
Why would he not?
He not top. He not top 20.
I know, but it's
not
called
top 20.
It's called promotion. So how do you not bring LeBron James's son? It involves you bring LeBron James' son, you bring LeBron James.
Oh, so next
Promo.
So next year, Paris Jackson going to hell out the Super Bowl.
Did he commit yet, Bronny?
I don't think so.
Right, because he might not even go to college. He might go D League
Yeah.
or just take the year off. Right?
Yeah. Didn't they get smoked by Master P son 4 times?
Could have.
They did. No, they did.
So what you think? Where you think he going to land? So I seen these mock drafts
They said top 10. I'm like, come on, bro.
placing him in Orlando, and LeBron saying that if he ever got traded or if he ever had to go to Orlando, he would just retire. But you know that's. I mean, if it's Orlando, then that's where it's going to be.
He gonna go.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not gonna be good.
I don't know. Orlando pretty nice.
I'm talking about LeBron and
When you add LeBron, you're going to add LeBron. This is what we haven't seen since maybe their championship in 2016. We didn't see it in the Lakers. I'm a LeBron fan, and I'm okay with putting an asterisk next to the Lakers championship, right?
Why?
Because it happened in the bubble.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't. I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't matter. A win is a win, bro. I'm just keep it a bean. Oh, they didn't want to be there. Well, niggas forfeit.
My thing is, if he could win again outside of the bubble, I'll agree. But nonetheless, they haven't had the right pieces. And even then, did they have the right pieces around Bron when they won in 2016? It's been a while since you've seen like suitable pieces around him. But I think that at this stage of his career, if he's smart enough, he could just fit into a system and win.
Well, I think he needs lessen his role then.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great part of it. So when you think about how I talked about the utilization of how Draymond Green would be beneficial in Memphis, it would be the same thing. But is leadership, is other aspects to winning that have to come into play, because it's not just skill, because if that's the case, then maybe Ja and them can beat Golden State. So what we'll say is, Golden State won off of skill, but they won off of experience last year. It was their experience. They was the most experienced team. They were, which is a great thing. It's not a bad thing because they knew how in certain positions that they found themselves in that they knew how to overcome that other teams don't know how to respond to. It's a great thing to have. It means you've been here before. So nonetheless, I think LeBron. So when I think about Orlando, I'm like, oh wow. So who does Orlando have? They got Pablo. What's the young boy name they just drafted?
Pablo.
They got Pablo Puello. However you say his name.
Markel Fultz.
Who else they got?
Mo Wagner, I think.
They did have Bamba, but they traded him to the
Lakers.
But it's one other guy, another guard. Who they other guard? Cole Anthony?
Yeah. What's the name, son?
Who? Whose son is that?
Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony's son?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I would have never got that.
Yeah.
Like that. He like that motherfucker. Swear. Let me get us. Okay, no sprinkles and shit. Okay, I see you, dog.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, just based off of that, I think that just with that, they have a good foundation. So if you take like Bronny and LeBron and maybe some other people and add them to that, they'd be a force to be reckoned with in the East. They would. So I don't know. I'm excited to see how that plays out as far as Bron and where he will end up based upon where Bronny will go. So before we move on, Quan, NBA championship predictions.
Golden State.
Versus matchup predictions. I'm sorry.
Okay. Grizzlies over there. Grizzlies versus Warriors. Warriors gonna win that.
I'm saying NBA championship matchup prediction. Yeah.
Oh,
so
East and
Warriors
West,
versus yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Warriors versus Celtics again.
I like that.
I love it.
And the only thing that has changed over in Boston is their coach, right?
Yeah.
Who's their coach now?
I don't fucking know. He ain't a brother.
I was.
I'm just being honest. Real fuck.
So I'm playing the game. I'm still NBA 2K22, so I did a creative player, and I put him on the Celtics, and we smoking. We undefeated, 99 everything undefeated.
Even with that situation, I don't like how the situation played out.
What you mean with the coach?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay,
because it's like, she's not being held accountable for anything. Her
who?
Ex, the woman that was on listening.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna hold her accountable. Oh,
it's called politics because we don't know who she was and who she was to whoever. That got a lot of part to play in it too.
All I know is that she better be getting a divorce. No, boy better be divorcing her.
They know how that shit go, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, I was saying my point about playing with the Celtics on the game. They do have some great pieces. Do they have they made any major additions?
They got Blake Griffin.
Okay, I mean that could help in the playoffs somehow, some way. It could. He give you some good minutes off the bench.
Yeah, you can pass out that Gatorade like a motherfucker too.
They get shot out.
Hey.
So JT or JB?
Easily. Come on, JB.
Yeah,
easily.
he's different, man. That boy different.
He one of them quiet motherfuckers too that don't talk and shit.
And that's probably that's the only reason why he probably don't get as much that kind of recognition because of that aspect.
JT one of them pretty niggas got yeah. I'm saying that type of nigga.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I like that. I like Boston coming out of the West, and I understand you said I don't know. I'm sorry, Boston coming out of the East, but the West I don't know it could be up for grabs. My
1B out the West would be
somebody gonna steal it. The Lakers, bro, stop fighting it, bro.
In 10th place.
Who?
Lakers.
They gonna find a way to get them into the playoffs. You better believe it.
Where they sitting at? Courtside or in the box?
Who number one right now in the West?
Nuggets.
Oh yeah, you can't forget about them. You know, I don't like. You know,
they ain't doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
No
so what is it? So what is it that makes them that positions them allow them to be so good in the season, but not?
Because you don't really see the same face every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine me and you playing 2K, right? 7 times. Like, over time, you can start, oh, he do this wrong. You do that wrong. But then, if a nigga come in the crib and he just played, you just play. You know what I'm saying? He just bounce. Another person come in. You know what I'm saying?
Why can't they? I don't know if I want to see them in the championship. They a boring ass team to me.
They are.
They missing something. If they had a Jamal Murray or something like that, well, they do have him.
But they didn't do jazz.
Huh?
They're the new Jazz. Like Utah Jazz, I hate everything about the team.
Is Jamal Murray playing?
Yeah. I hate everything.
Seriously?
I hate everything about the fucking Jazz.
Jamal made me. I'm like, damn, the Nuggets is looking crazy out there.
They be spicing the ball, Michael Porter Jr.
I mean,
he good.
I just think they don't. Whoever how they coaching him, they not using him right because that. I mean, you had anytime you have Bull, the young boy that you just mentioned. What's his name? Not Michael. Is it Michael Carter? What's his name? What do you call him? The young boy?
Michael Porter.
Michael Porter.
Yeah.
And
which brings me to my next point. Actually, you know the boy in France, Victor, whatever the fuck his name is, Victor. What I want to.
Victor Oladipo?
No, he like in France. He like 7'4", crosses people over.
I don't know. Yeah,
he crosses people over, shooting threes off.
I see. What's the name out there doing that? He doing that over in China.
Dwight.
No, what's the other boy name? Taco.
Oh yeah,
he over there. In
Japan. Dwight over there killing in Taiwan.
Yeah.
No, but it's crazy because the boy in France, they love him, but they don't love Bull.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Same person.
Yeah. They fucked up with that. I thought they could. When I look at that lineup, it'll create. If you could figure out a way to utilize those three, it would create matchup issues all throughout the game.
You know, actually, when I was
let Bull or one of them niggas run the point.
Crazy because coach actually fucked up when they played the Warriors last year. I saw it. They had DeMarcus Cousins and Joker at the same exact time. Warriors was not stopping it, and he just went away from it. And I was like, damn, bro, take DeMarcus out. And they took him out, and they fucked up.
All right, Quan, we gonna go crazy talking about sports. We probably spent the last almost 45 minutes talking about sports.
That's life.
So nonetheless, this will be considered the turn of our show. Would you happen to have any unpopular opinions off top?
Yeah, so
would you hold on before you go? You want any music or you just want to go right in?
Underrated made it.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Underrated made it.
Young, black, and gifted, we do it for the culture. Every podcast we help bring our people closer. Tired of being underrated, you can ask Jazz. This beat got horsepower like it's polo on a tag. Quan, let them know it's every Tuesday and Friday. He said it wasn't possible like Twista and Kanye. Renegon, I've been seen it happen like Sasuke. Love is stronger than pride and it's the close to the side A. 12 midnight, I'm still smoking in the driveway. This ain't for the kids, go to Chucky for the child's play. We all gon' burn like Pompeii. Until then, you should grab your seat and come and tune in. What?